guys, welcome to Art Centric Studio's Paint Along tutorial for our Starry Night finger painting. We are going to be creating with one of your Create kits that you picked up using modeling paste, acrylic paint, and the glove that's included in your kit. So follow along with me and let's make a painting. All right, friends, we're gonna start with sketching our Starry Night, and we want to sketch where the colors are going to go first. And what I did is I just got on Google and looked for line drawings of Starry Night, and that seemed to work pretty quickly in finding something. So the first thing we can put in is the church thing over here. Then I'm going to put in my hills in the background behind the church. A few over here. And one over here. Just like that, some simple lines. I'm not trying to do anything too crazy. I'm gonna find where I want my stars to go. I'm gonna put a few circles in there.
Or at 3 seconds before. See ya, bye.
Alright, once I've got the basic idea in of where I want things to go, I'm not going to try to do this with the buildings and stuff over here, because that would be too tricky. So instead, all we're going to use is a glove, which will be in your art kit, and the acrylic paint with some modeling paste mixed into the paint. And that'll keep it nice and thick as we go. So let's get started. Okay, so I have a picture on my iPad up of the original Starry Night, just as a reference point, which might be kind of helpful. Or you can screenshot the beginning of this video that has the original painting and follow along that way. That's just what I'm going to be referencing as we go. Okay, so I'm using one of my gloves, the first gloves, and I'm going to be starting with my background. I'm going to start with the lightest colors first and then work my way towards the darker colors. Think of your glove like a paintbrush. You want to make sure it's clean when you switch in between colors. Another thing is Starry Night had no green in it, but what happens when yellow and blue mix together? You get green. So you want to be really careful when you are using these colors that it doesn't end up turning into a green Starry Night instead of a blue Starry Night. Okay, so alright, so let's begin with some white. I'm gonna probably use my middle finger for most of this, just because it's a little bit easier for me to paint. And so I'm going to start with some of my lighter blue and my white, and I want to go the direction of my pencil lines, okay? So I'm not trying to do anything new here that I didn't already sketch. I'm just following my pencil lines. And the original, this is a lighter section here, so I'm going to fill it in that way. I'm going to skip over my stars as best I can. Remember, this is painting with your finger, so it's not going to be perfect lines like the pencil, because the pencil was small and tiny, and this is your finger, and it's going to be bigger. Another thing you want to keep in mind is the edge of your canvas when you're painting, okay? So when you put the paint on, you want to make sure that you also go on the edge of your canvas. This is going to be how your canvas, or how your artwork continues all the way around the side. So when you have the paint on your finger, it's a good idea to keep things going on the side too. Okay. My surface can get super messy. It's totally fine. But if you are on like your dining room table or something, where you're going to be eating dinner later tonight, you probably want to lay something down to cover up in front of it. I'm thinking like some newspaper, some old scrap paper, something, but you are going to get messy on this. You could also do an easel. If you wanted to put an easel on, you could do that. You want to do, there's just numerous ways to be able to keep going without getting your table all messed up, hopefully. So, you want to use plenty of paint. If you can see your canvas through your painting, or through your brush strokes, then you want to add a little bit more. Okay, this paint is not regular paint, so if you're watching and wanting to create, you're welcome to do it with the paints that you have at home, but we actually have some things mixed into the paint which are going to give it more of a textured look, though it is acrylic as well. Okay, so I'm going to add this other section in here. I think it needs it. But I was trying to think about things that you would always have at home that you can kind of create with. So you can still just use your finger. You wouldn't need a brush, but this paint has been thickened so that it comes out right and layers better. And if you hear my kids in the background, they're on Zoom with their teacher right now, and they'll be finishing up in a minute. So I went ahead and started. All right, I've put the light blue in these sections where I think it needs it right now. And I'm now gonna still have the light blue on my finger, but then I'm gonna go to the ultramarine blue, which is really the darker blue right now, I guess, between the two. This one has more purple in it. This is a phthalo blue. I'm going with this one here. Still 2 colors in. And this time I'm gonna start going right next to it with both. Watch your fingers and your brush strokes. You want to try to keep them as small and dainty as you can. They look more like the Van Gogh. He was an impressionist, so his short, quick brush strokes were signature for his style of painting. Again, I'm just doing those 2 blues together. I don't want it to look like one color, so I'm not mixing anything. Any mixing is happening on the canvas, not on my paper plate. And you guys can just use those containers that the paint came in straight out of the container. Super convenient. And then as we get closer to the mountain line, I am going to switch to that other blue. Now I've switched to that ultramarine color, darker blue, and I'm going to go right up next to the land in here. Again, I'm really watching my pencil lines, which is my brush strokes essentially, and making sure they all kind of fall to the same direction. I really need to hold this canvas because it's noisy. Sorry about that. This one's not as level. Okay. Okay, I've switched to my index finger to kind of blend. It's a little more bubbled, but it'll work just fine. Right now it looks like the ocean, calming ocean. I'm gonna go right up into that light blue area. Get some more blending happening as these two colors are right next to each other. At this point, you should have enough color on your background that you shouldn't feel the scraping of the canvas anymore. It should all be blending and melding well together. And, okay, now I'm going to turn it the other way because I don't want to get my hand in this. Watch your table too. If stuff's messy on this side, you're going to need to clean it. Okay? And then I'm going to start with my ultramarine blue, which was my middle blue again. And I'm going to go around. This guy right here with this blue. And it's going to stop over here in the corner because this is the sun. Or the moon, sorry. Want the moon to be able to hang out with us. Follow your pencil lines, keep going. And remember to use plenty of paint. Still adding that medium blue right up next to my light blue. If you accidentally switch the colors and you're doing a darker blue first, it's okay. It'll still come out great. All works out in the end. Just keep going. I'm going to have plenty of paint to work with. Okay, good. Alright, I'm going to add just a little bit of the light blue onto my finger, my index finger, and kind of blend where those two colors run into each other a little bit. And then I'm even going to put a little white. Add that in. Yeah, there we go. Think again, little brush strokes. So you want to... I'm using my index finger as like the blender right now. So I'm going to alternate between fingers, and then it's like you're alternating between brushes. There we go. Alright, so I'm adding some white into my light blue. If you're not listening to music while watching, you should, because music is always awesome when you're doing really any type of art. We play a lot of music at the studio, but if I have music in the background that's actual music we would play, I keep getting flagged by Instagram and stuff, and I can't play that music on social media unless tagging the artist in every single song and all this kind of crazy stuff. So too many steps. So it is quiet right now, but feel free to kick on some fun playlists you might have as you create. Pause for a dance party or two. If y'all know the studio, you know we live on dance parties around here. We are a great, awesome location for a children's art studio, but we are also located right next to a busy road, so there is no way we can go outside safely to let the kids stretch it all. So we started dance parties, and so we would have dance parties around the studio, and that seems to work pretty good for getting energy out while in a confined space, and that might work pretty good for you right now if you're in a confined space, so like your house. Okay, looking good. All right, I'm gonna go back and fill in this area. Try to be as careful as I can because I'm going around those stars. If you have to stop the video and come back to work on your Starry Night, you're welcome to. Just make sure not to put, or make sure to put the lid on your paint and rinse your glove. Let it dry really good, because you want everything fresh to use it again. I'm gonna do it all in one sitting, but you can do it either way. It might take a couple days for this kind of painting to dry, so kind of be in that mentality too. Like it's not gonna be too fast. But who's in a hurry right now? I mean, really. So this should be good. All right, I'm putting some white with that purpley blue that's up here at the top because I just want to be able to see some depth a little bit. Okay. I really just focused on every time I touch the canvas that my brush strokes or my fingers are going the right direction. I'm not going to go up and down right now when everything is going sideways. And trying to keep them as short and quick as I can. Okay, cool. All right, I'm going to flip it back around, checking my edges for any additional need, and then I'm going to rinse my glove and start putting in some of the land and some of the white for the stars. Okay, now let's add some of those stars in. I'm going to use the white first, kind of mark where everything needs to go. Kind of start getting it built up a little bit. Remember, yellow and blue make green. We don't want green in our painting. So if you start having trouble, then walk away for a little bit. You could even blow dry it with your mom's blow dryer or your blow dryer. And that would work. But just give it a hot minute if you need to. Don't get too much green going in there, okay? Okay, so I'm starting from the center and I put white and the light yellow in on my finger. Again, I am using my index finger to kind of blend I have a second yellow for you guys, so this one doesn't have to be super blended in one way or the other. You can decide how much you want to blend it. Remember to keep the brush strokes nice and short. And there we go. If you start getting green from this, don't forget to wipe your brush. Use the paper towels provided. I want to make sure you guys had plenty of paper towels. I know they're kind of hard to find right now. So you can wipe your fingers on that and just keep going, okay? Put white in here with little yellow. I'm still using the light yellow. I'll add the dark yellow last. Watch your finger. I just got some blue on it. I'm cleaning it off. Definitely putting plenty of white in your kits. Pretty good. Okay. I'm using white on the edge of my moon to blend some of my colors so that goes in with the sky a little bit smoother. Okay, alright, now I'm gonna put some more yellow. 1, 2. Remember, I put white on the stars first and a pretty heavy blob of it. Add that in there. Cool. I like it. Now, this in the original has a little touch of yellow in it, so I'm gonna add that. Wiping. Okay, I'm now gonna go to land. I'm mixing some of that brown in with one of my blues. And a touch of black. Okay, now I'm going to take some of the light blue and mix it in. And in this new color, I'm making circles. So I'm painting in circles in this section. instead of straight, like this. So, like this. Don't forget your edge. And put those little same texture lines right in here. Keep them nice and thick. And then I'm gonna do small lines of like brown with a little blue. And this is supposed to be kind of the buildings at the bottom. I'm gonna go back and forth with small little angled lines. They're going in a different direction than my sky. The edge. Again, I've got brown with some of my blues in it. I'm doing short, little, quick brush strokes with my finger, but they're going in a different direction than anything else I've done. It's supposed to kind of illustrate the walls and the sides of those buildings that are in the original artwork. Okay, so I'm going to put a few more in here. One coming over here. Yay! And then a bit in here too. Alright, once the land is filled in, I'm going to rinse my hand. I'll put the moon in and the church, and we should be good to go. Okay, now let's add some of those stars in. I'm gonna use the white first, kind of mark where everything needs to go. Kind of start getting it built up a little bit. Remember, yellow and blue make green. We don't want green in our painting. So if you start having trouble, then walk away for a little bit. You could even blow dry it with your mom's blow dryer or your blow dryer. And that would work. Just give it a hot minute if you need to. Don't get too much green going in there, okay? Okay, so I'm starting from the center, and I put white and the light yellow in on my finger. Okay, I am using my index finger to kind of blend. I have a second yellow for you guys, so this one doesn't have to be super blended in one way or the other. You can decide how much you want to blend it. Remember to keep the brush strokes nice and short. If you start getting green from this, don't forget to wipe your brush. Use the paper towels provided. I want to make sure you guys had plenty of paper towels. I know they're kind of hard to find right now. So you can wipe your fingers on that and just keep going, okay? Put right in here with little yellow. I'm still using the light yellow. I'll add the dark yellow last. Watch your finger. I just got some blue on it. I'm cleaning it off. Definitely putting plenty of white in your kits. One there. One there. One there. Go. And that's pretty good. Okay. I'm using white on the edge of my moon to blend some of my colors so that it goes in with the sky a little bit smoother. Okay, alright, now I'm going to put some more yellow. 1, 2. Remember, I put white on the stars first and a pretty heavy blob of it. Add that in there. Cool. I like it. I like it. Now, this in the original has a little touch of yellow in it. So I'm going to add that. Wiping. Okay, I'm now gonna go to land. I'm mixing some of that brown in with one of my blues. And a touch of black. I'm going to take some of the light blue and mix it in. And this new color, I'm making circles. So I'm painting in circles in this section instead of straight. Like this. So, like this. Don't forget your edge. And put those little same texture lines right in here. Keep them nice and thick. And then I'm gonna do small lines of like a brown with a little blue. And this is supposed to be kind of the buildings at the bottom. I'm gonna go back and forth with small little angled lines. They're going in a different direction than my sky. And get the edge. Again, I've got brown with some of my blues in it. And I'm doing short, little, quick brush strokes with my finger. But they're going in a different direction than anything else I've done. It's supposed to kind of illustrate the walls and the sides of those buildings that are in the original artwork. Okay, so I'm going to put a few more in here. Maybe there's one coming over here. Yay! A little bit in here too. Alright, once the land is filled in, I'm going to rinse my hand. I'll put the moon in and the church, and we should be good to go. Okay, we're back with a clean hand. I'm gonna take some of that dark yellow that we have plenty of, and I'm gonna put my crescent moon up in here. Just putting a C in first. No big deal. And then you can thicken the middle part of your C if you want to. You can always leave it alone too. You don't have to do it that way. Do whatever you feel like doing. It's your painting. It's your masterpiece. Right? Okay. More paper towels, wiping off my fingers, and now for the fun guy. Fun guy. Okay, we're gonna use the black that is in your kit. Okay, and the brown that we have left. Okay, so didn't have any black. Okay. So again, I have my iPad, so I have like the original as a reference point as I go along this. It's just helpful. You can screenshot the finish or the front of this tutorial too. That might be kind of helpful. All right, so when we're putting in this signature building, all of the brush strokes go up towards the sky. So because they go that way, I'm going to take the painting and turn it this way so that I paint it towards me. All right, I'm also going to start the one that's closest to me, the tip here, and then work my way down. So that way they stack on top of each other. No pressure as you hang black all over your beautiful finger painting, okay? But I am using the black. I'm gonna start with the black So a little bit of brown, and you want it nice and thick so that you can move it around almost if you want to. So I'm gonna get that nice pointy edge. And one of the keys with this guy is not going back over stuff as much as you can, because your whole background is mixed. And since it's mixed, it does make it a little bit trickier to go back and touch up. So make sure this area is how you like it before you move on. Okay, I'm doing the black that was provided with a little brown in it, and then it's got a little area that sticks up over here, and then keep going. Again, I think layers are we're starting at the back or at the top and working our way down. I'm going to do small gestural lines to illustrate the movement that is happening in the impressionistic piece of Van Gogh's artwork. Okay, I'm gonna get this guy in here. He needs a little bit more structure in here. Okay, a little bit there. Again, I'm referencing the original. Keep going back and forth, just looking at it, just checking what I've made. And if you get a piece or two that's really thick, it's okay. Acrylic paint is great. This is Blick Art Materials acrylic with some good things mixed in it for you, so it'll dry with, should be with minimal cracking and that kind of stuff. So don't worry too much about if you have a thicker area. If you like it, leave it. Go for it. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, it's rattling. I'll hold the other side. I'm gonna add just a tad of white to kind of go through just a little bit of swirl in my life. Okay. It's good. It's good. It's good. If you have never painted before, this is a wonderful project to start with. If you have painted forever, this is a wonderful project to do. It was a lot of fun, and something about knowing that you're using your finger kind of takes a little bit of the stress away on that. You don't have to get everything super perfect with it. Check your canvas line, try and make sure that everything's covered well, and your edge, which I'm just going to do this real quick because it's going to be on the bottom. And that should be good. I'm going to turn it around. Look, I got blue in my sky. Careful. It's wet. All right. And I think I want to add a little bit right in here because it kind of sticks out on the original a little bit over here. Still gonna try to get all of them going the same direction, and I'm gonna fatten that down here. should be good to go. Now for the fun part, so wait for it. Okay, you want to take the white that you have with your clean-ish hand, and let's put a little more stars in the sky. So I'm going to take all 4 of my fingers and fling it. If you get some everywhere, which you probably will, that's okay. Looks cool. And then use a clean hand or finger and touch up that black if you need to, so that it still looks like it's in the foreground, which means up front. There is your finger painting Starry Night.